Imagine if you could travel back in time and go back to the 1940s, seeing how the world looked during wartime. Instead of being in a big budget film, you actually can envision yourself standing there. There's wars going on that are being fought in multiple fronts: Europe, Africa, the Pacific, and millions of men and women are doing their part to either volunteer or be drafted to take part in this giant war. Envision yourself being at a military base or one of these ports during that time frame. Just then, you happen to walk past a tattoo shop. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a line of soldiers and sailors that are waiting in line to get their turn in the chair. Maybe you happen to be at Sailor Jerry's or Owen Jensen's, Cap Coleman's. Then it hits you. This is nothing like shops today. Some of these shops are dingy, not well lit. No one's wearing gloves. No one's changing needles. Tattoos are being put on at a rapid pace. Multiple tattoo artists are working. Some of them are actually doing a production line type of process. One artist will outline while the other will go ahead and do the color. Boom. Who's next? There's no custom work being done. If it's not on the wall, you're not getting a tattoo. Now think about the hundreds of other port towns or cities that had military bases. Tons of artists that are just not as well known as the names I just mentioned. Maybe you had a local legend or a big name artist where you lived during that time. The question still remains, how did we go from regular people getting tattoos to a sudden influx of new clients? Well, the wartime changed the industry with a big boom. Liberty ports wound up being the spot to go and get tattooed. These areas were set up to cater to the influx of soldiers and sailors. From cheap booze to cheap women, these places were primed to make money for the locals. Hawaii, at the height of World War II, had over 1 million soldiers and sailors bustling about throughout the different towns. A huge number of men and women looking to kill time while they went out and they spent that payday money. In a book written by a prominent tattoo artist in the mid-20th century, Sam Stewart, he writes about having to put up a sign in his shop saying Navy first, asking the locals to come back at another day or time. Because on weekends, soldiers and sailors would flock to his shop in large numbers with money to spend. And unfortunately, a little bit of time to get that tattoo. It became such a boom that during that time, Irving Berlin actually wrote a song about it. The song was called "A Sailor's Not a Sailor Till a Sailor's Been Tattooed." That song was performed by Ethel Merman. For those that don't know who Ethel Merman is, you could look her up, but she was pretty big from the 40s until the late 60s, early 70s. Now, some of these tattoos went above and beyond the normal patriotic tattoos that you would think military people would get. The regular flag and eagle started to have a different significance and meaning for some of these tattoos. Poppy plants became a symbol of World War I, and it also in a poem called "In a Flanders Field." In that poem, it would describe how the poppy plants would grow on the graves of the fallen soldiers. Hey everyone, if you like this video and you think we're giving you some value, please go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, and you'll get updates when we post new videos. Now, as far as different tattoo meanings, we have a few just to give you a little bit of insight. Dog tags can represent a person's own military service, or for the memory of a loved one that has fallen. An anchor would signify the traveling or being a boatswain or a chief. Swallows would signify traveling over 5,000 nautical miles. Dragons became the symbol that you had explored Asia. Hula girls signified you being stationed in Hawaii. A fully rigged ship signified that you had traveled around Cape Horn. The Rose of No Man's Land, which is probably one of my favorite old school American traditional tattoos, was made to honor the battlefield nurses who helped these soldiers in the biggest need of their life. Now, superstitions also came into play with some of these tattoos. The tattoo of the pig on one foot and the rooster on the other on the arches of their feet was supposed to protect them from drowning. The different branches would also adopt their own different tattoo styles and significance. Marines with the globe or anchor or the devil dog. Air Force did mostly aviator girls or pinup styles that were on the airplanes that they had flown. The Army would get crossed rifles, flags, or even pinups with the girls wearing the military type outfit that they had. In the 1980s, tattooing took a little bit of a turn, where the military actually published a paper asking soldiers and sailors to reconsider getting tattooed. The tide had changed and they really didn't think it was a good idea to have their personnel with tattoos. Just recently, though, that tide has changed again. There is now an understanding that tattoos have weaved its way into that culture. It's now being acknowledged on a level like it's never been before. At Nellis Air Force Base, they've installed their very first military tattoo shop. It's called Nellis Inc. The tattoo shop is actually in the base. The thought was not only having a clean, sterile environment for the military personnel, but it also made sure that the clients were staying within the strict guidelines that the U.S. military has set for getting tattooed. There's actually more plans to open up shops at different bases throughout the United States. It's unfortunate within the past 30 years, wars have ramped up. And we have a large amount of soldiers and sailors that are getting tattooed, with some of those soldiers and sailors even getting more tattoos when they get out. Now these veterans are going and they're starting to integrate back into civilian life, and they have tattoos. This has created a major mindset shift in the working world. Corporate America is actually putting out initiatives to hire veterans, giving them jobs that they deserve, they earned. They're very educated. They have all the principles that corporate America is looking for. Well, corporate America is starting to see that, you know what? These are the people we want in our companies. They deserve these jobs. If they have tattoos, we are just going to have to live with it. To me, this is awesome. There's other pieces of this puzzle, obviously. To me, I feel like this is a contributing factor to the mindset shift. These men and women, they fought for your freedom, for this country. And if they have tattoos, oh well, suck it up. They're the perfect people for these positions. I think the increase of tattoos that happened from the 40s until now is directly attributed to World War II. The experience of getting tattoos by guys that felt like they weren't going to make it home. The whole, hey, what is this tattoo going to look like when I'm 80 years old, flew out the window. These guys did not think that they were coming home. This was their chance to just say, you know what, I'm going to express myself, get what I want to be, do this tattoo, to have this camaraderie that they were so big on. To them, that was more important. That is also the mindset of the tattoo artist at the time. It was about the experience. It was about having that tattoo with that tattoo artist, going there with your buddies together, getting that tattoo. It was the experience. It wasn't always about the tattoo. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more tattoo history, make sure you go ahead and click this link right here.